China isn't included in the announcement today. Their 90-day pause is due to expire on the 12th of August. Well, although the full economic effect of Mr. Trump's tariffs will take some time to show, the president's played down potential price increases in the US as a result. We'll have more on the broader impact in a moment. However, small businesses are bracing themselves for the impact of these tariffs. For more on that, Victor Schwartz is joining us live. He's the founder of VOS Selections, which imports wine and spirits. He's also the lead plaintiff in a federal lawsuit challenging President Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs. And we're also joined by Reilly, his attorney in the case, and a counsel at the Liberty Justice Centre who's representing the broader small business owners in the lawsuit. Very good to have you both with us on the programme. Thank you for joining us. Victor, let's begin with you first. Talk us through the impact of these tariffs on your business.
It's been an ongoing thing. So we have been working under 10% tariffs for the last couple months. And then we just found out about these 15% tariffs, which got us scurrying around to try to change prices. You know, we have to post our prices with the state over a month in advance. So it's not like we have the flexibility just to change on a dime when these new tariffs come around. It's also a question of finding the money to pay for the tariffs. That's going to be very tough for businesses like mine.
Well, can I ask you about that? Because on first reference, you talk about changing the prices, but then you talk about adjusting things so that you can cover the cost. Who is picking up the tab? Is it you or is it the consumer?
Well, it's me paying at the port. Then, of course, that's going to be passed on to our customers, which are stores and restaurants. And then, of course, passed on to the consumer one way or the other. It's going to be a chaotic mess because, restaurants are already forced to charge pretty high prices for things because of inflation and their margins are squeezed. So they're going to have to try to find differently priced products. In other words, maybe something at a lower quality level to find the right price points. So, as I said, it's a mess. I don't know what the strategy will be for any of us.
Well, Reilly, let's bring you in now. I mean, this is grounds to maybe be annoyed, grounds to potentially cast your vote elsewhere, or grounds to buy from a different source. But grounds for a lawsuit? On what basis?
Well, on the basis that, under the American Constitution, tariffs are a power of Congress. They're a power of the legislature to outline what taxes Americans are going to pay at their ports. And to the extent the president can do anything about this at all, he has to do that pursuant to a power that was granted to him by Congress through legislation. He has not done that. Instead, he has invoked the statute called IEPA, which is an Emergency Powers Act that deals with economic emergencies that does not even have the word tariff in it.
Well, Mr. Trump would say that he is using the powers that Congress gave the president in terms of protecting national security and fighting unfair trade practices.
Well, but the statute that he is using doesn't even include the word tariff. It was never meant to cover tariffs. It is not about tariffs. And so there are other statutes that are about tariffs that he could use to do some things, but they're more limited and they limit his discretion, and he doesn't want the limited discretion. And so therefore he's relying on this statute that he claims gives him basically plenary power to set whatever tariffs he wants. So our lawsuit challenges that and says that, the structure of American government and the history of American law shows that this is a power of Congress and the president can exercise it only with the discretion they have given him. And it is not his caprice that dictates the tariff rates Americans are supposed to pay.
This is not a brand new court case. This has been through the legal mill somewhat already. What stage are we at now?
So we won in the trial court in May, and then we just had the appeal is now in the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the intermediate court in between the trial court and the United States Supreme Court. They heard argument in the case yesterday, so we're now awaiting an opinion from that court, and either ourselves or the government will probably appeal from that to the Supreme Court, depending on how that comes out.
So, Victor, what do you want to see happen here? Do you want Mr. Trump to just completely reverse these, abandon them, free trade, and potentially scupper some American suppliers in the process?
Well, why not? I mean, things were working pretty darn well before these tariffs, were they not? Where was the problem? And that's the thing that really gets me. I mean, all this money that's been raised for the government, I guess, to pay for his tax cuts, but what was the purpose of these tariffs? To what end? It has not helped small businesses. It's really been hurting. And that's an understatement. I hear terrible, terrible stories of businesses going under, shutting down, not ordering product. Nobody knows what to do. It's quite a heavy burden for us.
Reilly, let's finish with you. Is this going to go all the way to the Supreme Court?
I'm in no way predicting that, but these issues are of such significance that I have to imagine that they'll have something to say about this sooner or later, whether it's us or a different case.
Okay. Victor Schwartz from VOS Selections and Reilly Stevens, counsel at the Liberty Justice Center. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.